before this job, I was very unstable. Been in the system since the age I was able to be charged at, which was 12 years old. I've been stuck. I've always wanted to change my life. The only thing was I just wasn't ready at those times.
We shall fight with growing confidence.
Missile site.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Started hammering into the Berlin Wall.
The kind of country I want to lead.
I had a friend who had passed away. And when I went to his funeral, everybody was talking about all of the things he had done in his life in terms of, helping other people in the community, just out of the goodness of who he was rather than there being anything coming back to him. And I looked at my own life and realized all I had really done was work hard. But in the end, didn't really bring anything to the world. So another day begins. The best part is my morning. I get a big smile on my face when I drive through the gate. Sometimes it's stinky, sometimes it's not. I've come in here on days that are so foggy I wasn't sure if I was on the road. We'll walk in the morning, we'll see what's left of the pile from the day before, and I'll look at it, and Janet will look at it, and we'll say, oh, that's about 3 hours of processing or whatever.
It was a pretty steep learning curve for all of us because every day was something different. We were faced with different things.
Kathy, the image I get from her is that she's kind of like everybody's kind of godmother there. You know, everyone's just kind of comfortable with her once they get to know her. I know I am.
I don't think I really had a lot of bosses in my life. Never really had a job, so she's really nice. I liked her.
She's like a white witch. She's like, just beams light. And every room that she's in, everybody's smiling.
Good morning. Oh my gosh, where'd this come from? Oh my gosh. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Eli. Thank you. That's amazing. What made you do that?
I just saw it and I thought, that Kathy would love that.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate it very much, Eli. I'll take good care of it. That's the absolute best part of my day. Seeing them as they come in, getting a smile, getting a hug. Some of them will come in and you just know something good has happened. And you just want to stop everything and listen to what they have in their brain that's, radiating out of them that morning.
I know the original was 50, right? So I have to.
Small little bird this morning.
It is. It's all cozy right here. Hi, Sheila.
We're very happy to be running this morning. It's wonderful. So we're running to be able to do some sampling. And the samples we're working with right now are multifamily. And depending on where you're working today, Patty will be flagging you to be involved in collecting samples every hour on the hour.
I guess I was just really tired of not going anywhere. It was always kind of in the back of my mind that this place was there. Didn't know anybody, so I kind of just followed everybody, kind of asked, is everyone going to the same place? Am I going the right way?
Okay, guys, be nice to each other today. Be safe.
Okay. That looks pretty good.
Yes.
For sure.
So Malcolm, are you going to be on Saturday?
The key element of the Edmonton Waste Management Centre of Excellence is
all these facilities
managing our waste properly.
Greenhouse gas reductions, especially from landfills.
It's going to have a tremendous economic benefit to the city. It's the right thing to do. I want the young people to remember, we started it, you've got to continue it, and you can improve upon it. This is only the beginning.
When the Waste Management Centre was looking at expanding some of its operations, a gentleman by the name of Roy Nehall, who was one of the very senior managers at the time, saw a good opportunity to try and bring in people who normally wouldn't get a chance to work for the city.
Out of all the years I spent incarcerated, I'd never seen an opportunity for inmates like this. And when they were talking, tears started coming down my face. That's how happy I was.
I kind of fell back on it thinking, well, I'm having barriers.
Because in my past, I had a hard time really even holding on to a job. But I'm still here. And I'm liking it.
I actually feel like I'm making a living, honest living, instead of going out there and stealing it and not having to watch my back, see if a cop is watching me or, not paranoid.
Especially coming right out of jail. I'd never had that before. a job just like that with a big company and benefits. You get out of jail and you know that nobody wants to hire you. You just came from jail.
They were very open, very carefree on their attitudes. So they made me feel welcome.
In my head, I pictured like a big hill of garbage. Like when we're sorting that pile, like we're talking tons. There's days when we go through 150 tons. There's days when we run through 250 tons. A small, easy day for us would be a 50-ton day.
I wasn't expecting to find a big building with junk inside it and all these big machines that all the trash could go through.
It's a very interesting place if you go around and look at all the different pieces. You know, these guys handle recyclables, these guys handle electronics, you know, these guys handle construction waste. And the way it all fits together is pretty amazing.
First day, the smell was so rank. I was thinking, wow, like how am I gonna get used to this? Like how am I gonna eat lunch? It's gonna stick on us. But I'll tell you now, I barely smell it. I smell dirt.
Never had a visit in the back, fighting back to back with a wall and a shake and a mat and a padlock to attack. And the gas your ass when the inmates scrap. I wish that on nobody. You ain't a killer, got no bodies. Talking all that gangster shit on the internet, trolling at home probably. I don't give a fuck about these bitches. I know my capabilities, I'm about them stitches. My dog in a hole, you ain't bout that business. Santa with a slug, you'll be up by Christmas. Wish this got a little bit longer. These skirts got a little bit stronger. Key sticks when I see them, I'm on ya. Cause they keep the heat like a suicide bomber.
It's definitely a different level than other employments where, you know, if somebody doesn't show up, then it's just a dock. It's like, oh, okay, well, they're late, mark it down, and they're in trouble, or they're gonna get a scolding. But with Q1, if somebody's not at work, it's why are they not at work? Is everything going okay with them? Maybe there's, you know, something going on in their life.
Honestly, it's probably one of the best people I ever worked with. Everyone gets along with everybody. I get along with everybody, and that just makes for a really good day.
You walk in and you're part of a company and a support team that you're actually glad you found.
You don't have people coming together unless there is a common reason for them to be together, whether that be survival, or whether it be belief in a particular outcome, or it be as simple as our situation to, you know, offer good, steady, real employment to people who no one else wants to work with.
I noticed right away that when I got my head tattooed that people looked at me differently. Kathy didn't care. She liked it. So the more tattoos you got, the better, she said. And that was comforting.
I wanted a cat, and I thought about doing one of my favorite cats that I'd had. And then I thought if I did that, I was going to end up wanting all of my cats, and I was going to be covered in tattoos. So I picked this design out, and then Kenny modified it a little bit in terms of color, and I love it.
We are one large dysfunctional family, you know, and I say that to people when I hire them.
People with a criminal mindset, they've developed pretty big egos, like their shit don't stink. Buddy, you go to the dump, you don't have to worry about your shit smells good, because when you leave the dump, you stink.
In the city, disposal of waste products such as garbage, trash, and sewage becomes a costly operation. After being collected in sanitary trucks, trash and garbage is transported to municipal dump.
You do take it home. You take it home every day. You think about the guys because they're like become like your family, like your kids. Here, trust is a really shaky commodity. You want guys to be able to trust that if they say something to you, like I was using last night, you're not going to say, okay, you're fired. It's okay, we'll go home and clean up, and when you're ready to come back, let's talk about it then.
Addiction plays a big part within the system. And I know that because every time I was arrested, I was intoxicated.
A parole officer will just something as simple as a guy saying, I don't agree with you. They'll call that deteriorating attitude, and they will go back to jail for that, something that simple.
I'm literally just going out to have fun with my friends. Maybe we are drinking, and policeman happens to question us or take an ID. There's a curfew. There's an alcohol condition. He smells alcohol on me, then I'm going to jail.
For one of the most dangerous insect pests known to man. The common housefly, as its name implies, plagues the households of mankind around the world. It is equally at home as it visits back and forth between surroundings of finery and places of filth. A decaying animal carcass or an open dump.
What do you want with you when you die?
The kids, my loved ones. I don't want to die with only regret on my mind. You know, about like that chance that I missed, or like somebody's lives I ruined or affected badly, right? Like, I've done a lot of stupid shit. Lots. I've hurt some people. And the only way that I can redeem myself and have any self-respect again is if I just like changed my MO and started helping people. Around 5, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like my biological father. My dad used to drink a lot, especially when he picked up some charges. He was in the paper a couple times when I was growing up, and when that happened, like, there was definitely a different energy when I went to school. When I went out with him, everybody showed me respect. One time I got in trouble from a teacher. Like, I was in the midst of getting kicked out of the classroom, and I lipped off to her, and she's like, yeah, well, you're gonna be a bad person for the rest of your life, just like your dad. I had this reoccurring nightmare for like the last probably 4 years. And it's from being in high-speed chases. As the sirens are closing in and you hear the ghetto bird, the police helicopter, you know, overhead circling with its spotlight, and then all of a sudden, boom, that spotlight's on you, and you're trying to hide, and they got thermal imagery cameras, so you're like, you know you're fucked, you know you're going to jail, and the worst feeling in the world is like thinking of my kids. I'm not gonna see my kids for a long time, right?
Kenny is a very articulate man and such a energetic, positive guy who wants to bring goodness into the world.
I wrote this ideal scene. I started with my favorite affirmation. I'm whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I said I live in a classy loft in downtown Edmonton.
I have my license back as of recent, but I still choose to bike or bus. I'm debt-free and beginning to build an investment portfolio. My weekends are spent with family and kids. I help organize charity events, and I'm a director for a philanthropist movement. 80% of what I wrote down in my ideal scene came true.
This plant is great. The people is great. Just wish we could make the general public more aware of what we're actually doing, trying to push this message of our planet needs help.
Sometimes it's really hard to see what people throw out because there's such wastefulness in our culture.
Waste. There's just so much waste.
Comes in every day. Finish a coffee cup, we throw it out. It all adds up.
I would bring stuff home from the dump every day. Anything that could be salvaged, why would somebody throw that away?
My phone, iPad, my phones.
A brand new flashlight, a screwdriver, a pair of scissors, everything like mace, brass knuckles, swords.
I found a lot of Bluetooth speakers.
$750 I cashed it. Just loose change, pick it up.
You can find anything. Almost seems like you can manifest whatever you want to find that day.
This is gonna be inappropriate. That's okay. Okay, so it's like we find dildos and stuff on the thing. Some of the guys, they just grab them and they're like these suction cups, but then they'll go stick it on the side of the bins beside somebody that doesn't know.
All of a sudden, your ass is vibrating. You're like, what the fuck? And you reach in your back pocket and somebody stuffed a vibrating dildo in your pocket.
It's just how we are. We just joke around. If you see one, you'll just chuck it at somebody. I don't know. It's really stupid. I don't know.
It's terrible. It's filth. Pure filth there.
We got to be pretty expert on the whole plant. We have guys working for us who know that plant inside and out. They can walk in there and they can hear a noise and they'll say, there's something going on with that 403 head pulley.
The teamwork's there. The morale it's good. You know.
Kind of the rule we have here is that you have to come in and do your best, and you have to recognize that your best and someone else's best may not be the same thing.
we just kind of throw things out. Garbage man takes it, that's it. After that, it's dealt with.
This work breaks my heart every day. We've had a number of our guys go on the run, and several of them end up in shootouts with the police and end up dead. We've had guys killed in back alleys. We've had guys die of overdoses.
I dropped out of school in grade 10. So I started working because I had to support myself. That's when I had my first heavy drinking experience. The feeling I would have the day after, I didn't like that feeling. So I continued to do it again to get rid of that feeling.
Yeah, that's all I ever did was hang around with really bad kids in the city, and that's all we ever did was drink and get into crime. And I was charged with manslaughter. So I got put in the CFS in Winnipeg, and then that turned more into running away, right? I didn't want to go back to my mom because it was because of my mom. Me and my mom arguing while I was trying to be suicidal, and I didn't want to be with her or be around her. Yeah, it was all that.
It's not fun for anybody. Losing your freedom is, it's a lot to take in. Does a lot to your mental health.
Out of the 20 times that I went to jail, never once did I see somebody on the way out of the door who said, "What's your plan? Where are you going? Do you have any support? Do you have a job? Do you have skills? Do you have an education? Do you know about these resources? Do you know about this mentor?" Like, there's none of that.
I don't sleep very well lately, and I often wake up and I'm thinking about the failures, right? The guys we've lost.
Now, when you lower your self-worth and your integrity, you get a case of the fuck it's. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not good enough, fuck it. I fucked up, fuck it. You know, because I did this drug, I'm a bad person, fuck it.
I've been trying to get hold of you, and I didn't know, I was trying to figure out, maybe you heard and you're distraught, and one of our staff heard somehow, and she got a text, but he didn't want to tell me until he could check it out and see if it was true. Then he got on Facebook or somewhere and discovered, yeah, it was true. Kenny, our little Kenny, talked about a bright light.
Yeah.
I thought this was someone who can absolutely change our world, Boy, he advocated so passionately for people. I get attached to my guys.
I do.
But there's not very many I got as attached to as Kenny.
You've got his art on your arm.
I do. I know. It's funny, I was looking at it the other day, and when I went and got my second tattoo, the artist says, "I should touch that one up for you. It's not perfect." And I said, "It is to me." He said I gave him hope. I don't think there's more than that anyone can do for another person. I was so happy to hear him say that. I thought Kenny was going to be the guy. And maybe he still can be.
Always been a closed-in person, kind of introverted. It's definitely become a place where I've done a lot of thinking about my life. I'm not at the point where I want to be yet. I'm not, in my eyes, successful. On a daily basis, it's important for me to try to keep my attitudes, positive. It's not always easy. I do try.
All right. See some family, some friends. Good evening, young lady. How you doing? All right. Great to see you. It's a new lady. How you doing?
Stacey, if you had to be somewhere for Christmas besides Canada, where would you like to go?
There's no other place on earth I'd rather be than right here.
All right, then. That's the answer.
That just blew her hat right off. See?
Good one, darling.
Hello, my boy. Oh my God, Stacey Jackson. We have not lost track of him at all.
He's got the biggest heart in the world. He's the kindest man. But he's left us now.
Makes me feel part of the family. Robert, my man. Hey, nice seeing you too. The one that really believed in me.
And we miss him terribly.
Oh, I'm happy. I missed you guys. No, I really do. This is home to me.
He sat there the other day. He came in, he was working night shifts. He comes in to see me early in the morning. He came in with a cup of tea and he sat there and he says, I want to come back. He's making a lot more money than he made here, but he's not happy. He just said nobody cares about anybody.
I'd love to sort garbage the rest of my life. Straight up. But I feel I had to move on because somebody else has to move up. Somebody else needed a chance to be a lead hand, right? Just to show, hey, you can do it.
I miss him every day. I think of him every day. I look at what he wrote on my board when he left. And I miss him every day.
Back when my addiction came first, man, I'd spend every god darn penny I made. And it's the stupidest thing. And maybe that comes from being given away. My parents didn't want me. 2 weeks old, they walk in a restaurant. Here's a baby, you can have him. Yeah, there's some love for you. Like, I was raised on the street, really. I've been running the street my whole life. Fighting and stuff, and being in and out of juvie centers and jail and prison. Like, to me, I didn't grow up. I didn't know how to grow up. When you get out of prison, do you realize how hard it is to get a job? Honestly, a good paying job. And by some freak miracle, a phone rang and I got a call for a job. And I was so happy. I remember I was jumping up and down. I was happiest day of my life next to my daughter being born. That's the reason I'll get into heaven right there. I'm hoping anyway. Said, I'll be there, man. I'm riding my bike. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Well, the mom and me came out instantly and said, you cannot ride your bike on the Beverly Bridge.
It's not a big deal. Come on, it's a bridge, guys.
He got there and, he was a sight to behold.
Why would you throw this away? Perfectly good 15-pound dumbbell. Why? For my granddaughters, see? My granddaughters love these things, man. Love them. Yeah, that's right. I was really standoffish about my addiction. Like, you know, I don't think about it, it's not there. And I'm not a very touchy-feely person. Don't touch me, you know? I wouldn't hug her. I wouldn't hug either one of them. I think probably 2 years. For one morning, I just needed a hug. Kathy gave me a hug. Yeah, Kathy gave me a hug when I needed it. Kathy and Janet. Janet gave me a job when I needed it. Kathy gave me a hug when I needed it. It only took once, the job and the hug. Oh, I love you. I love you with all my heart.
A lot of our folks, when they come to us and they've been in jail or they're, dealing with addiction, the first thing they're told is don't associate with the people that you associated with before you went inside. And that's their family sometimes. That's the only people they have. So it is a struggle not to go back and be in that life again.
Sober since August 2nd of 2018, and I plan on keeping going. I feel a lot better. I just woke up one morning and enough is enough. Like, it cost me too many problems in my past. Problems with my son, not seeing him as much as I should have been because I was choosing something else. He finally actually wants to come over. Before, I don't know, I get him every weekend, and days that I don't work during the week, I'll pick him up after work. Then I can drive him to school the next morning.
I don't want to go back to trying to sell drugs or steal or do anything like that. I don't want to be broke, so that's why I'm trying to keep a job.
We do a lot of things to help them kind of accomplish the things they want to do. But we really learned that we have to respect what they value, not just what we value.
It's our responsibility to come up with a way of life that is better than the way that we were taught.
I must say that this lead hand position has kind of altered my life. It also taught me a lot of stuff about myself, like patience, working with others, being in a leadership role. I felt I needed to know a lot more, pay attention a lot more.
Every once in a while you would say something and you just see him, the smile kind of turning up his mouth and, hitting his eyes, and you felt really good when that happened.
We don't always get along, but at the end of the day, when we all leave there and everybody's smiling.
Yeah, as for this plant, I like to see it mature. This whole place is breaking ground, breaking something new, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
So many people who come here feel accepted for the first time in their lives and feel safe, and they don't want to go away.
We're going to ask each of you as you come up to get your gift to say just a little bit on what you're thankful for in 2019 and going into the new year. So as you come and get your gift, if you could say something, we'd really appreciate that. Eli, and tell us first what you're thankful for.
I'm thankful for the Roaring 20s and lifeguard certification in 2 months.
Jason Schofield.
Thankful for coming to work every day and always seeing this great great bunch of people to work with. And yeah, February will be 10 years for me, so yeah. Let's keep this plant green. Let's keep working on that.
Thank you, Jason. Ned.
I mean, it's perfect crew to work for. Nice bunch of people there. I don't know what else I could say. Is this, it just makes me happy to be around people.
Shayla.
I'm grateful for being here another year with my bosses and supervisors and staff and all the friends that I met and got to know this year. Thank you.
Norman.
I'm grateful for walking this journey with all of you through this past year. I've seen people up, I've seen people down. I've been up and down myself, but then we always pull through. That's what I love about Quality One. Thank you.
Thanks, Norman. Stacy J.
I'm thankful that I figured out that I'm not a big fan of scaffolding, and as soon as Quality One can get me back, I'm getting my ass back there.
It's been a really tough year for me personally, and there are a lot of days that just coming into work and dealing with all of you fine folk, make it another day that I can get out of bed. So I'm thankful for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat.
I think you sometimes don't know how much capacity you have to love and care until you're faced with a whole bunch of people who need you.
That's power. And that's how we can take our power back, by being that type of human. And the world needs that type of humans.
Look around you. Everything you see here one day will be waste. It'll be garbage. So how are we going to manage that?
We got a job ahead of us, and we do. We got a big job ahead of us, man.
We're a throwaway society. If something doesn't fit the mold, if it's not immediately useful, if it doesn't hold value for us anymore, we throw it away.
That's what we do. We throw stuff away. You know? My parents threw me away. Maybe that's why me and Quality One fit so well, because I was garbage. Now I'm not.